What's going on, everybody? Boxing video. This one we're talking about Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte making his return this weekend to fight Jermaine Franklin. This is coming off of his loss to Tyson Fury, in which he got knocked out in I want to say what round was it? 6th round or round 7? I think it was the end of round 6 where he got knocked out in. And yeah, what does Dillian Whyte have left? That's really the question. What does this man have left? Yeah, 259 in the 6th round, that uppercut. The same one that Povetkin kind of knocked him out with. With Povetkin, it was the left uppercut. I think Fury hit him with the right one. That uppercut seems to have a hole in Dillian Whyte's game. You know, Anthony Joshua knocked him out with the uppercut. Alexander Povetkin, and then Tyson Fury. I think Dillian Whyte is interesting because I think it's very clear he's on the back end of his career. I think his days as being an elite level fighter are over, or even if you want to say he was never an elite level fighter, like I don't think he ever was. Him being a serious contender, I think, is over. I think that he's a contender. I don't think he could be a champion. I think he's probably on the downside of his career. But when you look at Dillian Whyte, you're like, wow, this guy is a big overachiever because he's really not that talented. I mean, he just has a hard work ethic, and he's big, and he's strong, and he's physical. He throws a great left hook. He has a good jab, good body puncher, and he really just like out-hustled a lot of his opponents. But he has a very good resume. I mean, Derek Chisora twice, Robert Helenius, who beat Kaneki twice, beating Joseph Parker, who beat Andy Ruiz. You know, he beat... I know it was, he was faded in the rematch, Povetkin, but he beat him too. So you're like, wow, like he's got a good resume. Oscar Rivas, like he had a good resume, and he was a WBC mandatory opponent for a long time, but they didn't want to do business with them. Al Heyman and PBC and Matchroom, they didn't want to do business together when Wilder was a champion. So then he gets his title shot after many years. He fights Tyson Fury. Honestly, I think Tyson Fury is probably the worst matchup for him. And, he got knocked out. He didn't look very good in it. But even worse than not looking very good in the fight and getting knocked out, he didn't show up to the press conferences. So he completely just hurt his profile and didn't use the opportunity to even build fans. Because if he would have talked a good game in the presser, he probably would get more opportunities after that. And he would build his fan base. But because he didn't do that, he didn't build his fan base up, got knocked out. Didn't look, didn't entertain in the fight. Not really. It wasn't an exciting fight up until the knockout. So he really didn't do much of anything. I think that Dillian Whyte should win this week unless he's shot. I've never heard of Jermaine Franklin, to be quite honest with you. And I'm going to bet that the people seeing this right now, they probably have not either heard of Jermaine Franklin prior to this. I am expecting a very decisive knockout victory. I think Dillian Whyte still has power. He is physically strong for the weight. His footwork sucks. His balance sucks. His defense is definitely questionable, but he is a warrior. I think a lot of people will look at it and say, had he gotten the chance to fight Deontay Wilder, he could have done some damage. I don't agree. I think Deontay Wilder absolutely smokes him at any point in time. I think Wilder hits him with that right hand at some point. Whyte makes way too many mistakes, but it would have been an entertaining fight. What I think most likely happens is Dillian Whyte wins this fight versus Jermaine Franklin, and then he fights Anthony Joshua next year in a big fight in Wembley. Anthony Joshua, Dillian Whyte 2. And it's still a good fight. I bet you they do 1 million pay-per-view buys in the UK, and they do some decent interest here with the hardcore boxing fans in the United States. But I think Dillian Whyte's days as being a serious contender are over. Let me know what you guys think. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe.